Hey guys, thanks for stopping in and checking out my channel. I appreciate everyone watching. Got a few projects out here in the garage that I normally have going on. Today we're going to be putting some WeatherTech mud flaps on a 2019 Dodge Ram Classic. So these mud flaps are supposed to be the no drill mud flaps, and you're supposed to be able to do it in the driveway without having to take the wheels off, but I have access to a lift, so I'm going to go ahead and use the lift. So we'll go ahead and get this up in the air and we'll get started. Alright, once you have this up in the air, first thing you're going to want to do is turn the wheel. That'll give you room to get in here, and then you're going to need to pull this bolt, and then there's a little plastic rivet down here on the bottom you're going to have to pull out. So I'll go ahead and get those out. And these two screws are 8mm screws. Once you got both those out, you'll have to get this little rivet out down here, which is going to be a little harder with running boards on, but I like to use a straight screwdriver or a pair of side snips. Work pretty good to get them out. Just pops out of there. So, alright, once you got that off, then you got to get your new mud flap and get lined up. Okay, so on this particular truck, they give you bolts and nuts to put back in here, but the factory hardware bolts right up and already has clips in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and reuse those same two factory screws that I removed. Get those in there, and just get them started here finger tight so I can slide this around and get it adjusted to where I want it. Got that one in, and we'll get this bottom one started. Okay, once you got both of those started, I'm basically just going to hold this tight up against the body line, and we're tightening them down. And you don't have to go super crazy tight with them. You'll strip them out if you just crank them down. But you do want them to be pretty snug. So now that one's on. And with the WeatherTech, they say they're a no drill, but they do give you an option to drill a third hole here if you want to. And basically that should give it a little bit more support. And I think I'm going to go ahead and drill it because I'd like to have as much support on this mud flap as you can. Okay, so if you're going to drill this hole, unless you've got a right angle drill, it's kind of hard to get in there and drill that pretty straight. So what I like to do to drill these a little bit straighter is if you actually turn the wheel the other way, it gives you a little bit more room back in here to drill this straight. And you're going to want to drill it out with a 1/4 inch drill bit. And should drill pretty easy. You're just drilling through plastic. So we got that drilled out, and we'll go ahead and get this other bolt and nut and washer in there. Okay, once you have that bolt hole drilled, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver and a 7/16 wrench to get that in there and tighten that up. Same thing, you're going to want to snug it up, but you don't need to get carried away with it. Like I said, just holding on a plastic mud flap. So we got that tight. It's on there pretty sturdy, and like I said, fits the body lines pretty good on the truck, so it's a nice fit. So we got the driver or the passenger side done. We're going to move over to the driver's side and do the same thing. Alright guys, I got the front all done, and I've moved up back to the rear here now, and you're going to do the same thing. You got these two screws that you're going to have to take out, and then there's also two plastic rivets down here on the bottom. You have to take these plastic pieces off and get rid of those. You can't put them back on, so go ahead and get those off. And I'll do the same thing. I use a straight screwdriver or a pair of snips, and you can come under here and pull these little plastic rivets out pretty easily. And then you get that off of there. And wipe all this off nice and clean before you put your mud flaps on there. Okay, the rear comes with a little mud flap protector, I guess, and you can put it on here to protect the paint, and you get one for each side. So I'll go ahead and put that on now. You also want to make sure that this is all nice and clean before you put it on, that way it sticks pretty good to it. Just press that on there real good, get all the air bubbles out of it. There we go. So that's on there. Now we're just going to grab the mud flap and throw it on there. Alright, I got the passenger side rear mud flap here, and same thing, I'm just going to stick it up there, and I'm going to do same as I did on the front and reuse the factory hardware. So let's get that one started, and get this lower one started. So then just go ahead and tighten up those two bolts, and you're going to want to press it firmly up against the body too when you're tightening it. So, get that one snug. It's not real tight, but it's just kind of snug. And then we'll do this top one too. We'll get it snug. Alright, and then shove those over, get the body line all lined up, and then tighten them down. And that's all there is to the rear. You get the rears on there, and like I said, you get the body line to run right down through there, follow the factory line. They're pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and get the other side done, and then I'll pull this thing out and do a walk around and show you guys outside what it looks like in the light a little bit better. So like I said, I'll go ahead and go get the other side done, and then I'll see you guys outside. Alright guys, we got the truck all pulled out, and like I said, here you go. This is what they look like on there. So they fit pretty nice. Then here's the front ones. So it'll definitely help keep the mud and rocks and stuff off the sides of your truck and stuff. So I think they turned out pretty nice. Definitely a pretty easy install, and I don't know, I would say if you were doing this in your driveway, you could have the front and rear ones done in probably less than a half an hour. So like I said, they're quick, simple, easy, and definitely will protect your truck from stone chips and everything. So thanks for checking out my channel, guys, and please don't be afraid to like it and share it, and also subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. So once again, thanks for checking it out, and you guys have a good day.